We divided up the 7 modules based on our areas of expertise and interest. We both will cover week 1, the first day of class, and week 15, the last day of class. I'll cover weeks 2 to 9, which are modules 2 to 4. So just to tell you a little about my expertise and interest, my research focuses on public health planning and evaluation, specifically focusing on school-based wellness initiatives to reduce obesity and food security-based health disparities. I also focus on public health advocacy, addressing income inequality and violence prevention, in addition to other areas impacting the social determinants of health. To kick off the course with an introduction week, given a position as the new manager of a public health organization, you will prepare an agenda like what you will need to learn and/or do for obtaining full accreditation for your agency. Moving into Module 1, Week 2 of the course, we then will delve into the historical phenomena that have shaped and developed public health and public health responses, formulating a working definition for public health in the 21st century. Then, during Week 3, given the network of health agencies at the federal, state, and local level, and their partnering organizations in the voluntary and private sectors, analyze the authorities, functions, and roles of health organizations at the different government levels and in different sectors ensuring population health. Moving on to Module 2, Week 4, given a social ecological perspective of the multiple influences on the health status of a population, incorporate appropriate measures of the health and illness, including risk factors, into a community health needs assessment activity. Then, in Week 5, given a social ecological perspective of the multiple influences on the health status of a population, develop a community health improvement strategy that identifies community priorities and mobilizes community resources to effectively address agreed upon priorities. Moving on to Module 3, Week 6, the first week of the module, given the current status of health reform implementation, devise a report card for affordable care and for the Affordable Care Act related health reform efforts to date. And then following up in Week 7, given a prevalent community health problem, disease, or condition, develop a strategy for designing, implementing, and evaluating an evidence-based intervention. Then we move into Module 4, which marks the midterm. Hard to think about it now, but it will be here before we all know it. So in Week 8, given an important current public health policy issue, we'll analyze this policy by identifying the social, political, economic, and ethical values and assumptions that have influenced its development and implementation, and apply a policy analysis framework to the evaluation of potential policy or alternatives. And then in Week 9, given a current public health policy issue, design an advocacy strategy for a specific public health policy reform. At this point in the course, midterm, Dr. Chan will lead Module 5, Week 10, to the first week and all the way up to the first week of Module 7, Week 14.